Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 22 of Jake Nikolopoulos, Road to the Universe. I'm here with Jake Nikolopoulos, of course. Jake, just finished the guest pose.
Wrapped up.
Literally a couple of hours ago, and we're shooting this post-guest pose at the NABBA Australian titles.
Yep.
How'd you feel, man?
Wow.
2 weeks out from the universe now.
Yeah.
It's almost like a warm-up contest.
It was like a warm-up, but it almost felt like it was the first time I've been on stage for ages.
Well, it is.
It is. And it was interesting actually. Like I was saying to you guys earlier, like I practiced my posing and things, and I was on stage in 2013. But you do get so out of touch what is involved with the bodybuilding competition and the work going through all of the poses as well. Like it's not easy, and I've kind of forgot that a little bit. So today was definitely a challenge, and I'm so happy that I did this, because now it sort of gives me that okay, this is what it's all about again. And but yeah, what an experience. It was awesome to get in front of the Aussie crowd and let them all see me and see the changes that I've made. You know, that was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you've seen some of the photos, and obviously you've seen the videos. How are you feeling about your condition effectively 2 weeks out now?
Yeah.
Are you where you want to be? You know, where do you take it the next 2 weeks? It's crunch time.
Look, I think I kind of didn't know exactly where I was at until even you just showed me some photos.
Yeah.
My girlfriend Rach just showed me some photos, and I was like, wow! Like I kind of shocked myself. And that doesn't usually happen too much, but I suppose that's because I did put a lot of pressure on myself this year, because I didn't compete since 2013, and it was kind of like, all right, the next time I get on stage, I don't want to be just slightly improved from 2013. Like I want people to say, wow, he's really made those changes, and he's gonna be able to do something and stand with these guys in a pro lineup.
Yeah.
So just now, looking at just off the camera and looking at some photos, I was like,
yeah.
You know, I think I've definitely made the improvements I need to make. And then in terms of conditioning, it's a conditioning thing with me. Like I've definitely got the size there. I think the mass for my frame, I like the way that my symmetries come out. And now it's just a matter of keeping the size and trying to bring in the condition. So obviously that's going to be between me and Neil now.
Yeah.
We'll have to do our homework, sit down, draw up a game plan. And we know exactly now what my body did today, so we know what to expect and how to tackle. We had a couple of little issues today. Water was probably the main one. We got there very early, and something that you probably wouldn't see at a bodybuilding show that I pumped up for almost, what was it, 2 hours?
Almost 90 minutes.
Almost 90 minutes.
You started pumping up an hour and 20 minutes before you actually got on stage.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I found out that I really needed to do that, because at the start I was sweating. Like I really sweat a lot. And obviously as I was sweating, I'm starting to push the subcutaneous fluid out of between the skin and the muscle, and start to get the muscle pushing the skin.
Yeah.
So that's where today was such a good trial run.
Yeah,
you know, so I can see that. But in terms of, am I happy? Yeah, I'm very happy. Like I can see that everything's there, everything's where it needs to be. I just really need to use these couple of weeks now to make sure that I get the muscles through, especially in the legs.
Yeah.
And I think if I can do that, it's going to be a pretty impressive package.
Yeah, absolutely. And the changes that you've made, you know, we mentioned in episode 21, having the 2-year off season have been phenomenal. I think today, seeing you on stage, I remember being backstage, we were shooting a Periscope episode, and you kind of went into the bathroom and started pumping up with all your clothes on, and then came out of the bathroom with your posing trunks, and all of the competitors were there, and literally, you know, you could hear a pin drop. Everybody kind of stopped what they were doing, and they were like, wow, that's Jake. You know, so I mean, that's got to make you happy, man.
It makes me happy, and even getting the feedback from you too was fantastic, because you were with me at the Southerns in 2013 when I competed. Right. So to be able to hear you say to me, you know, what a difference, what a change. And I know that you saw me when I was at my most shredded kind of in 2013.
Absolutely.
But now, like I said to you when we did the video yesterday, it's just a different package. It's a different look. And people are going to make up their minds what they like better. But I think that hybrid package that I was speaking about in the past video, like that is definitely possible. Like I've got the side, I just got to get that condition.
Well, that's it. Yeah. You definitely brought and you guys will see with the guest posing footage, the synergy of the mass of 2012. But with the condition of 2013.
Yep.
But also with improvements from 2013. So,
yeah.
you know, you've really almost epitomized bodybuilding.
Yep.
You know, epitomized what bodybuilding is about.
Yeah.
Is, you know, bringing the best versions of yourself, but then making improvements along the way.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
So,
I think that's what I really needed to do. I kind of really needed to. I knew in 2013. Don't get me wrong. I won the show, so I was happy. But deep down, I wasn't happy.
Yep.
If that makes sense, because I knew that I could have been a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
So that's why this year I feel like I've almost kind of been reborn a little bit as a bodybuilder, because I knew that this was possible for me, and I knew that I had a little bit more. I knew I had a lot more in me. And 2013, I found, it was great to be conditioned and shredded and things, but I just didn't feel as if it was as much as I could give.
Yeah.
So I think now these next couple of years, like still the hamstrings and the calves are a bit of an issue for me.
Yep.
But I think that it won't be next coming years. You know, it's starting to feel out. They've definitely come up.
Yeah.
You know, definitely
Absolutely.
come up. But I suppose it's a little bit of a catch-22, because as the quads grow, as the upper body grows, the hamstrings are growing, but because the proportions are all growing together, it still kind of throws you out a little bit that the hamstrings are small.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to really hit these hamstrings and calves next year.
Yeah.
And I know that. I'm not saying that that's not my issue. That's definitely my issue, but you know, I'm working towards that.
Well, it almost seems like your weaknesses have gotten better, but then your strengths have gotten stronger as well. You know, the chest has come up, the arms have come up, the quads have come up. Everything that were your dominant muscle groups have continued to grow as well. So I guess it's about kind of closing that gap between the weaker muscle groups and the stronger muscle groups.
And I think that's why with bodybuilding you kind of have to work out at a certain time, is the upper, like for me, in the next couple of years, I'm sure I'll probably say to myself, okay, I think that's enough with the upper body. Like, don't push it now. Because the last thing I want to do is start to blow out the midsection as well.
Of course.
I want to be able to get that, like if the hamstrings and the calves and they're all up to par, then all of a sudden, it looks like a new bodybuilder. Like if you're complete and you've got that full package, everyone, you know, and that's what I strive for. I don't want to just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and have the hamstrings and calves lacking. I would rather, when I saw my front double bicep today and I saw my arms, I must admit, I was like, I didn't think my arms were that thick. So when I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, I could really almost afford to not train arms or upper body, but really concentrate on the hamstrings and calves, because I think if it was more complete, then it would just look better again.
Absolutely.
You know?
So where to from here, man? 2 weeks left.
2 weeks left.
It's crunch time. This is the money time with the prep.
For sure. Well, this is what it's all about. You know, the guest pose was fun and all well and good, but the business is in 2 weeks.
So what does Neil have planned for you over the next 2 weeks? Is it going to be heaven or is it going to be hell?
It's definitely going to be hell. But look, the good thing is, I know Neil looks at William Bonac every day. He looks at Flex Lewis every day. You know, so the way that he looks at me, I know that he is looking at them constantly. So he's going to be very crucial of how I look. And this morning, I spoke to him this morning, told him how I was looking, how I was feeling. Obviously, after tonight, I'll sit down with him on Skype and we'll really go over today and the events of today. But he already said to me, he goes, look, he said, I loved your look for guest pose. It's going to be good for a guest pose, but you know, I still got a lot of work to do. So I've been eating carbohydrates up until kind of today. And then, so Neil said to me, he goes, look, get your girl, go get some sushi after the guest pose. He said, and then that is it for carbs. He said, I want you to just have asparagus. I want you to have your fish and your chicken. He said, and that's it. He said, so, and look, I think I kind of need that, because the way that I've been dieting already, if I go off the track of how much weight's coming off on those carbs, it's not going to be enough to be able to get to the universe. So we've got to do something different. You know, so that's why he's like, all right, let's just cut the carbs. And in the past, I've done 0 carbs before, and I've actually worked really well on them. Felt like absolute death. Felt like crap. But my body seems to still stay full. I don't just flatten out straight away. So we'll see. I might be able to go 4 days. I might be able to go 5 days of like a really low carb before we put in a refeed day or something like that. So yeah, it's not going to be fun, but now fun is the last thing on my mind. You know,
gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Like you know, that's why it's kind of like the guest pose is done. This is the real work now. This is the show where it's like, I don't care if I have to eat dirt to get ready for this show now. For these next 2 weeks, it's like that's all I care about. I've got to really nail this, because that's like, I look at it, that's 20 weeks, that's 30 weeks, that's years. You know, this isn't just a 16-week prep, this Mr. Universe. This is I would say, a 10-year prep.
Absolutely.
You know,
this is everything.
Yeah,
all culminating in one.
Exactly
right. Now,
right. You know, so the last thing I want to do is say, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. It's like, no, I'm going to do everything that I can. And you know, this is a very prestigious show. This NABBA Universe, Professional Universe, is like Arnold Schwarzenegger has won it. You know, Steve Reeves, Franco Colombo. You know, all of these guys have won it. So it's kind of like, as an Aussie doing this show, it's kind of, it's pressure, but it's not. It's, you know, because I know that it's the first time doing a pro show.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever happens, happens. But I think if I'm at my absolute best, I think I can be a threat.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the plan.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know these other guys that have been doing it for so long, and I kind of want to shock them as well, I suppose. You know, there's no, unfortunately, there's no friends in the bodybuilding stage. You know, we shake our hands and say hello, but when we're on stage, we're all there to beat each other.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going there to beat everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's your chance to really write your name into the Mr. Universe history books. I thought it was interesting when you were speaking with President of NABBA, Graham Lansfield, on stage today. He said that you're the first Australian pro to go and compete at the Pro Universe since 1996.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's almost 20 years.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah, it's almost the whole federation from Australia and New Zealand, the Pacific region is behind you on this one.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's it's just made it even more exciting.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, like I said, if I was already like the Mr. Universe and I was going back to defend my title, that would be a fucking shitload of pressure.
Yeah,
but I think going over there now, knowing it's my pro debut, kind of getting my feet wet in the pro lineup, it's not as scary.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as scary. I'm just going over there, obviously to win it, like I said, but I'm not going to be like, you know, really upset if I didn't win it.
Of course. Yeah. Well, man, good luck for the last 2 weeks of prep. It was great to see you on stage for the first time in 2 years.
Well, you flew down from Adelaide.
Well, we did, and it was an absolute pleasure. It was very exciting, very nerve-wracking for us as well, as much as I'm sure it is for you.
Oh, of course.
Man, good luck with everything.
Thanks very much.
The next 2 weeks. Probably the next episode you guys are going to see Jake will be...
probably just me. I'll probably just sign on and say goodbye to all you guys before I go overseas. And then hopefully I've got a hotel Wi-Fi connection. I can do a couple of videos for you guys in the hotel.
Yeah. And then it's game time.
It's game time.
All right, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of Jake Nikolopoulos' Road to the Universe and all of the other deliciousness in our YouTube channel. Until the next episode.
They should stay massive.
Boom.